Good morning and welcome back to another edition of Balanced Bytes. I'm your host, Trissetta Washington, productivity coach and CEO of Profitable Productivity. I am excited to be back with you on today. We're going to be talking about how you can juggle leadership responsibilities with your personal well-being. And as always, if you are tuning in live, or even if you're catching the replay, let me know that you are here. Say hello in the comments. Let me know that you are here, that you're with us. And if you're watching the replay, put the hashtag replay in the comments for me. So it should be no surprise to you leaders out there that it can be really difficult to strike a balance between having the impact that you desire to have in your organization and in your community with your own personal well-being, right? Because if you are a nonprofit leader in the human services sector, which is where I specialize, you tend to be pulled in a lot of different directions because your clients' needs don't stop, right? There's always going to be one more person that needs the type of support that your organization provides. And you want to help everyone. That is why you got into the nonprofit space to begin with. That's why you got into human services to begin with, because you have a heart and a desire to help others and to create this impact in the community in which you serve. And there's a myriad of reasons why you particularly chose that field, that specific area of support. But because of that, you can oftentimes put your own well-being on the back burner, right? You're so busy serving others. You're so busy serving the vulnerable population. Ooh, tongue twister this morning. You're so busy serving the vulnerable population that your organization serves that you often end up neglecting not only yourself, but the relationships outside of the workplace. So whether it's with your children, with your partner, your friendships, or even with your extended family. Right. And it can be really challenging. One of the things that I've been binging on Netflix's series New Amsterdam. And one of the things the psychologist on the show, Dr. Fromm, Iggy Fromm, I'm pretty deep in now, but one of the challenges he was having in his relationship was he was spending so much of his time, effort, or energy in supporting his clients that he was neglecting his marriage and he was neglecting the relationship with his children, right? And, raise your hand in the comments. Let me know, drop a 1. Let me know in the comments if that's been you, if you've ever been in that place. I know I have. And that is a recipe for burnout. That is the recipe to find yourself in a position where you can't get out of bed, or worse yet, you have a heart attack or a stroke that leaves you debilitated, or you end up losing your life. And I don't want that for you. And I know that that's not what you want for yourself. So I want to share with you today a few strategies for how you can balance the two, right? So how you can develop this art of balance in between your professional life and the impact you desire to have with making sure that you are taking care of your own personal well-being. So the first one is all about prioritization, right? You've got to be able to identify what tasks are high priority and do that in an effective way so that you can focus your time, effort, and energy on the things that are most important. Many of the things that we fill our days with, while they may need to get done, they aren't necessarily the things that are going to drive the results that you desire. I'm going to do a session on this coming up soon, but you want to focus on kind of the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. Focus on the 20% of activities that drive the 80% of your results. That's if you do that, then you're going to create more results, and that's going to give you more time. That's going to free you up a little bit more to be able to focus on some of the things that maybe you've allowed, you've kind of let slip or fall through the cracks, or that it's just kind of taking up so much of your time right now, which is a great segue into my next strategy, which is to manage your time effectively and efficiently. Right. So, some of the things, the number one thing that I would tell you to do beyond prioritizing is to plan your week out in advance. And if you can't plan your week out in advance, at least plan your day out. Take a few moments as soon as you sit down at your desk in the morning to make a note of the things that are priority, right? Your most important things that you need to accomplish for the day. Focus on those things first and then move into other items that are on your to-do list. Also, schedule time to be in your email. We don't want to be in our emails all day long. That is kind of busy work. So schedule some time, maybe first thing in the morning and maybe around midday or just after lunch to respond to emails. Also, if people are accustomed to you responding immediately to emails, set a new expectation around how quickly you will get back to them. So let them know that you'll respond within 24 hours. If it's an emergency, to call you or use some other method of communication to get to you more quickly, right? Doing things like that's going to really help you to maximize the time that you have so that you can be more effective more effective and efficient with your time. Another strategy that you can use is time blocking by setting up specific blocks of time on your schedule each week to focus on the tasks that drive your impact, right? So whatever you identified as those priorities, those things need to get on your schedule first. Put time blocks on your schedule first, dedicated to those 20% items that drive your results so that you know that you have time set aside specifically to get those things done, right? If you put that on your schedule first, then I promise you, you're going to have time for everything else. I want to put those big rocks on first. The next strategy is to set some boundaries, right? I just talked about with our email how you want to set some expectations on how quickly you will respond to people as it relates to email communication. That is a boundary. One of the personal boundaries that I have is I need my sleep. I need my beauty rest. And so my phone goes on do not disturb at 10 p.m. and doesn't come back off until 7 a.m. I have it set up to automatically happen. On the weekends, it's a little bit later. But by doing that, I've set a boundary to not be disturbed by dings, bells, and whistles. Now, granted, I will say this, I do have my notifications turned off. My phone is on silent the majority of the time. Actually, it's been on silent for probably about 2 years now. And I have notifications turned off for most things so that I don't get disturbed as often. Now, for those of you who say, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't put my phone on do not disturb," or I have important people who need to get through to me. I need people to be able to get through to me. Your phone, I know the iPhone has it. I'm sure Androids have it as well. But when you set up your do not disturb, you can set up parameters on who can get through even when your phone is on do not disturb. For example, I have mine set up where my daughter can get through to me. My mother can get through to me. People who are most important to me can get through even when my phone is on do not disturb. There's also a setting where you can have it set to if they call you back to back, right? Within, I think it's 2 minutes of the initial call, then the second call will go through, right? So there's some things that you can set up to kind of create some boundaries. You also want to set up some boundaries around your energy, right? Learn to say no to things and people that zap your energy. This is really going to be helpful so that you can really focus on the things that are most important, those priorities that we identified. And the last strategy I want to share with you today is about delegation and empowerment. As leaders, we have a tendency especially women leaders, we have a tendency to feel like we have to do it ourselves. We have to do it all ourselves. That if you want it done right, you've got to do it yourself, right? Drop a 5 in the comments if you have ascribed to that or you have heard that before. Listen, it is, I've been there. I have heard that. I've even said it. That was me. I was the perfectionist and I was horrible at delegating. But when you fail to delegate, not only are you putting more on your own plate, but you are disempowering your team. You're disempowering your staff to grow and develop professionally. So you want to empower them and equip them to be able to take ownership of tasks. Now, yes, it's going to take a little bit more time on the front end to teach them what it is that you need to be done and kind of the parameters, what that definition of done looks like. And you may need to do some coaching in there. But if you do that on the front end, that will enable you to down the line be able to fully release that task to them so that you are now freed up to focus on those priorities that we identified on the offset. All right. So definitely learn how to delegate. Start practicing it if that's something you struggle with. Right? Done is better than perfect. Right? You can perfect along the way, but you want to get the job done. You want to get the task done. So, I try to keep these live streams to under 15 minutes. So I can't really go too deep into how to implement these things. And there's way more strategies and techniques that I would like to share with you, which I'm going to be doing a much deeper dive into this in our upcoming webinar, Time Management Mastery. It's all about balancing leadership and self-care. Inside of this webinar, I'm going to be talking about strategic prioritization. So you will learn how to strategically prioritize your tasks and commitments so that you can maximize your impact as a nonprofit leader. You're going to discover techniques for identifying high value activities, how to delegate effectively and say no to non-essential tasks without guilt. We're also going to get into self-care integration. We'll explore the importance of integrating self-care practices into your daily routine so that you can maintain your energy, your focus, and that resilience so that you can get things done. You'll gain insights into practical strategies that align with your leadership responsibilities that's going to allow you to lead with clarity, compassion, and a little bit of vitality, right? And then finally, you'll get some actionable time management tools. Actionable time management tools. I am not about just information overload. I want to equip you with the tools and techniques that are tailored to the unique challenges that you face as a nonprofit leader. So we'll get into deeper into time blocking and goal setting, to batch processing and boundary setting. We'll get into practical strategies to optimize your workflow so that you can minimize distractions and achieve your goals with confidence and ease. So I definitely want to encourage you to sign up. It's all going to be taking place on the 26th, Tuesday, March 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to drop the link right here. This link is case sensitive. I'll go back and add it to the comments as well, but this link is case sensitive. So make sure that you type it as it is on the screen. That's bit.ly/capital T for time, capital M management, capital M mastery, capital W webinar. So bit.ly/time management mastery webinar. And the first letter of each of those words is capitalized. So I hope that you will join me for that live webinar. I promise you it is going to be juicy. It's going to be filled with some actionable strategies that you can take away and implement right away so that you can create the impact that you desire, not only in your organization, but in your own personal life so that you don't sacrifice your well-being. That is all for today. I will see you right back here next week, Tuesday, for another episode of Balanced Bytes. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye for now.